Alright, out here doing a little fishing. A little pike fishing. Let's see what we got. Got a stringer full of northerns. I think we got 5 so far. I think I'm going to do a video on pickling pike. So, I guess I'll be back later when we fillet these bad boys out and get the brine going for some pickled pike. A couple of things here before I get started. These pike have a Y bone in them. It's above the rib cage, and it's really hard to fillet it out of there. At least I've never been able to effectively fillet the Y bone out of these pike without losing a lot of meat. And so my favorite thing to do with pike, especially these littler ones, is to pickle them. And the pickling solution pretty much makes those Y bones non-existent. Practically dissolves the bones. You don't even know they're there. This recipe is an old Minnesota recipe, and them folks really know how to pickle up some pike. I imagine this would work on just about any type of a fish with a white flaky meat. This winter, when I start catching some lake trout, I'm going to try some lake trout. I'm going to try to pickle some up. But right now the pike are biting, so that's what I'm pickling up. But I would really like to try some lake trout, see if that would be good too. Also the salmon run up here, there's a river that the salmon run in, and you can still snag salmon. They're just small kokanees. So I'm going to go up and get some of those, and I might try pickling them this year. If not, I'll just smoke them like I usually do. But that's probably what I'll do, is I'll probably smoke them and make a video on smoking salmon too. But anyhow, just wanted you guys to be aware, about those Y bones in there if you didn't know. If you like pickled herring, you'd probably like pickled pike, and that's what this recipe's like. It's great. It's not a good main course, but it's great on like a snack cracker. Also, cooking with this vinegar and stuff, don't want to use aluminum pots and stuff like that. I'm using a stainless steel pot today. If you have a glass one, that would be fine. Don't want that stuff sitting in aluminum for any length of time. I don't even like sitting on any kind of metal for any length of time. It really is corrosive, that vinegar. So, alright, I guess we'll proceed. Alright, YouTubers, this is Birch Bark Johnny here again. Got the pike, got it all filleted up, and I'm going to show you guys how to make pickled pike. First thing you want to do is fillet the pike out, get rid of the rib bones, slab the skin off of there, and then I leave the little Y bones in there. Then I dice it up into little, like 1-inch square chunks. So I got about almost a gallon of fillets off those pike we got the other night. The next thing you do is you cover it with a brine, which is a mixture of 1 1/4 cups of salt in 6 cups of cold water. So you just mix that up. 1 1/4 cups of salt mixed in 6 cups of water, and you cover the fish in that for 24 hours. And then the next day you'll drain it out, and then you'll cover it again with the Heinz white vinegar. I suppose any white vinegar. I don't necessarily just use Heinz, but that's what the recipe calls for. But I put it in the fridge for another 24 hours. And then this is the stage that we're at now. I've already soaked it in the saltwater brine for 24 hours, and then I rinsed it. It doesn't say to rinse it, but I just lightly rinsed it a little bit. And then I went and covered it again with vinegar. Let it sit another 24 hours. Now here we are. It's Tuesday night. I caught them Sunday. Tuesday night, here we are. So next we make up the pickling solution. So what I've got here is I've got 5 cups of white vinegar, and I'm going to add 3.5 cups of sugar, just regular old white sugar. Get it all mixed up here. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. Next I'm going to put in 8 bay leaves. I already got them all. And then I've got 6 teaspoons of pickling spice. I'll throw that in there. Okay. Then I've got 10 whole cloves in here. And I also have 4 teaspoons of mustard seed. So I'll put all that stuff in there. And then the recipe calls for, what is it? 4 teaspoons of peppercorns. And I didn't have any peppercorns, so I'm just going to try a couple teaspoons of pepper. I have a suspicion it's going to be a lot hotter than just the peppercorns. If I need to add more later, I will. I'll just add it more. And let it sit. So I'm going to bring this to a boil. This is bring it to a boil until the sugar is dissolved and cool. Then I'm going to refrigerate this mixture. And while it's cooling, I'll drain those fish. And then I'm going to add a chopped onion to the fish. And once that pickling solution is cool, I'm going to refrigerate it for a week. I'm going to put it in some, I'll probably put it in some old pickle jars that I saved. So I guess I think I'm going to go ahead and upload this video tonight, and then I'll just do an update in a week when I got the fish. I'm not going to show you adding the cooled brine and the onion. That's pretty self-explanatory. But alright, this is Birchbark Johnny signing out. Alright, this is what I ended up with. Ended up with roughly 4 quarts roughly of fillets or pickled pike chunks. Like I said, I just use old jars. I just save them and just throw it in the fridge, and I'm sure it'll keep for probably about a year in the fridge or so, I would imagine. I don't know, it never lasts that long, so I don't worry about it. I mean, I eat it all up long before this will be gone in a couple months. I'm going to give one of these to the guy I went fishing with, and I got some other buddies that when they find out that I made some pickled pike, they're going to be over here hounding me for some. So, alright, well, talk to you guys soon, and we'll be putting some more videos up hopefully soon here. Bow hunting season's around the corner. This weekend it starts. 3 more days, so hopefully I'm going to go out and do a little elk hunting and bear hunting. I usually don't get too crazy about the deer until October, November. Late November is when our rut starts up here in Montana, so go after the big muley bucks then. So, alright, this is Birchbark Johnny signing out.